Good evening, everyone. I'm Chief Meteorologist Jordan Frazier. We're still tracking that severe threat as we head into this evening, although a lot of it was stymied from those dust storms earlier. You can actually see just where those clouds are. Sunshine is coming back out, and weather's acting like it didn't just try to kill us. Yep, it seems like our regular weather pattern in West Texas. So where are we sitting? Well, we're actually sitting with temperatures right around those upper 80s. We got into those lower 90s earlier today, and I have one problem with that. Well, number one, I don't like heat, but that's not the problem. Biggest thing is the fact that when temperatures get as warm as they do with high humidity values, we tend to see a lot of very early storm development, and they tend to be on the stronger edge. Well, today, those dust storms came in at the right time, stopped any kind of those storms from really forming across the I-20 corridor. I know I would rather prefer rain over dust too. The problem was a lot of these storms were looking at about 1.5 to 2.5 inches of hail. Yeah, that's gonna put a little damper on your, put a little dent in your car more than anything else. So we're watching that right now. It's dry. You're not going to see any kind of development along much of the interstate corridors. I-10 and I-20, much of them were surrounded by dust. We still have a blowing dust advisory in effect until 8 o'clock tonight. So you still have another hour. Just might get caught off guard by some localized strong winds and even some localized low visibility. So keep your eyes open. Make sure you got those headlights ready to go. Avoid high beams. They don't work. And you're just going to blind yourself and you're going to blind others. But I was mainly concerned today because earlier this morning, right around noon or so, it's not really the morning for me, we actually saw that increase in severe threat up to a level 3 enhanced risk. That's when we tend to see a lot more of that hail and tornadic activity localized across the Permian Basin. Today, that tornado watch was issued along with that level 3 risk, or basically alongside where that level 3 risk is. And, well, it's still in effect until 11 o'clock tonight. But on radar, everything is all calm. We're just seeing a lot of activity outside of the area. So I went ahead and I'm just using the looping radar, but I can actually check out some of the other different versions of the radars if you'd like me to. Most of this stuff is well outside of our area. We start to lose where our cameras or where the radar is actually picking up some of that data. Some severe storms outside, out toward Abilene, out toward Haskell, even out into Oklahoma. They're seeing a little bit more of those showers and thunderstorms. For us, we just had this one thing down here. It's actually a flash flood warning still in effect until 8 o'clock tonight for Crane. And that's because we had that one storm. That one storm's actually popping up near Garden City and now actually past Sterling City. That was the storm. It was significant enough that we saw some golf ball to ping pong sized hail, so just under about 2 inches, and heavy rainfall. Now that was also the entire storm that blew all the dust into Midland, Odessa, up into maybe Stanton, Garden City, and Big Spring as well. So yeah, which do you prefer? You prefer the hail and the rain or the dust and the wind? That's a tough one. I'm gonna go wind and dust. Yeah, I just washed my car. That's what I deserve though. So moving on out a little bit farther, still just looking at some of those stronger storms, but if I zoom out, they're not affecting us. They're staying outside of our area. Snyder's still dealing with a lot of that cloud cover, but that's gonna be about it. Nothing too significant. Here's that risk. Yeah. It went up to that level 3 risk. But if you zoom out even more, you see just above the banner that says severe risk, we got a moderate risk for much of Minnesota, of all places. Yeah, you don't think about Minnesota having a lot of hail and tornadic activity, but that's exactly what we saw. And a lot of storm chasers are out there, so unfortunately they're not localized here, where we can kind of see, hey, what they can see. They might be able to see some stuff down at the surface that our radar up in the atmosphere just can't. Same with the satellites. So it certainly helps to increase our accuracy, kind of see what some of these storms are doing. And, you know, hey, the radar will say tennis ball size hail, but down at the surface it might be even bigger than that. So we want to see some boots on the ground. But hey, today, luckily, we got spared. We didn't really see much of anything out of the ordinary. We had one storm, it went severe, it moved out, and that was the only storm we had to deal with. I'll take it. I'm quite happy because at level 3 risk, we could see a lot more action because of it, and I don't mean the good kind of action. Overnight tonight, temperatures are going to be dipping down into those 60s. Actually, it should be, I have this set to a different time slot. This is tomorrow night's lows. I'm looking actually more so along, here we go, 67 for us tonight. Compared with our average, about 56, this is going to be about 10 degrees above average. Strong winds from the south, 20 to 25 miles an hour. That's going to maintain the warm factor. Partly cloudy skies, cloud cover itself, not going to be really hanging around all that much. And 10% chance of rain, that was in case anything is left over, but we're not even seeing any localized showers now. And I was expecting to be doing, severe coverage till about 9 o'clock tonight, worst case scenario. Here we are, best case scenario. I'll take it. But it doesn't mean we're in the clear for tomorrow, because tomorrow, we're back with that severe risk. So let's pull it up on here. Heading out the door, 67, strong winds. Yeah, we just went through that. 85, so a bit cooler, might help lower the chance for any real active storms, but you're still looking at that strong wind, pulling up warm air from the south, and it's even with cloud cover, you can't stop the wind. But here's what I'm looking at. Later tonight, yeah, a lot of this stuff, this is 6 o'clock, so this is kind of an older run. But by 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock tonight, we just have those partly cloudy skies, strong winds coming in from the south. As we push our way into tomorrow morning, not much, just the line of clouds. Here's the thing. That line of clouds represents the cold front. What we've been seeing has been a very interesting pattern as of late. A lot of these storms are going to be forming off of dry line. The dry line usually hangs out to our west. Today, it was right near Marfa and Alpine. The storms, they form along the dry line. They latch on to the cold front and then just ride that cold front all the way up to the northeast. So that's kind of the pattern we were expecting to see with these storms, and we had one storm that did it, although it hung around farther to the east than we were originally predicting. At the end of the day, we'll take it though. We will take it. So it's kind of easy to see where these storms will go if they latch onto the cold front. The problem is, storms out here, they don't like to listen. A lot of them, if they form just south of the cold front, they can go in their own direction. They're not going to be as fast moving, and they're more prone to cause localized flash flooding, because if they're not moving as fast as the cold front, they're going to sit and rain themselves out, which is one of the bigger problems we face out here with a lot of our storms. They form, and then they just sit and wait. Tomorrow afternoon, well, stop me if this pattern looks familiar. We're actually noticing a couple of these storms popping up just south of Midland, Odessa. It moves its way out farther and farther to the northeast, potentially moving its way into Howard County and even places like Snyder. All right, yeah, kind of similar pattern to today. And maybe even if it goes farther to the east, it could break off, go toward Big Lake and even San Angelo before combining near Abilene. That's the pattern the storms did today. So we're looking in the exact same kind of setup. All right, but that also means we're looking at the exact same kind of setup as we head into Tuesday at level 3 risk. Midland, Big Spring, Snyder, yeah, we're looking in that exact same severe risk. Ironically enough, I got it all written down, all the individual risks for each of the day. So today was 5% chance of tornado, 15% chance of strong wind, and 30% chance of significantly severe hail. That's what we call a hash. And it tells us that, hey, you can expect hail about 2 inches diameter or bigger. Well, we got the hail, we got the wind, we didn't get the tornado. Also, well, it makes sense. Hail was 30%, wind was 15%, tornado was 5%. For tomorrow, still the same thing. We got that enhanced risk. 5% chance for tornado, 15% chance for wind, but we're under that significant hash, which means that we can expect winds up to 75 miles an hour or stronger, specifically 65 knots, but that's 75 miles an hour. We're also looking at that 30% hail risk too within that level 3 area with the significant severe hash, meaning 2-inch diameter, so tennis ball sized hail or bigger. Yep, that dry line is to the west. The storms form off the dry line, and then they ride that front to the northeast. All right, so that's tomorrow. But let's go back to the future track, and let's show you Wednesday. So, Tuesday night, nothing going on. Sun goes down. We don't have to worry about it anymore. As we head into Wednesday morning, okay, there's nothing going on here. What about the afternoon? Wait a minute, something just passed us. Let's go back. Here we go. A couple little storms popping off, possibly to the north, right around Seminole, Lamesa, moving out towards Snyder. It's pretty early afternoon. Okay, what about the later afternoon? That's it. There's nothing going on. We'll see if that holds true, because a lot of the models are saying, oh, there's nothing. That's why we only have a level 1 risk. And then tomorrow morning, they're going to be like, no, we're at level 3. So keep your eyes out for anything like that, just because you can certainly see that higher risk get put into effect rather early. So what do you need to know for tomorrow? You need to know a lot of this stuff is going to be popping off between 2 p.m. and 9 p.m. Biggest impacts, large hail. Told you, tennis ball sized or bigger. Wind damage, 75-mile-per-hour wind gusts or stronger. And the chance of that isolated tornado. So watch out for your windshield. Yeah, don't be driving through any of these hailstorms. Don't try to drive through the dust storms either. Even without nearby severe weather, we get a number of car accidents and reports of injuries and accidents because of blowing dust. Just take it easy out there. We're all trying to get around. We're all trying to go to different places. Let's just do this together. We all got this. We only deal with severe weather like 2 or 3 months out of the year. So we can get through this and we can be fine. Here's your severe risk for Wednesday. Well, there's not much there. All right, I'll take it. I am watching that slight risk though. I'm assuming it's probably going to try to move a little bit farther and farther to the west. For now, it's staying out of our area, and thank goodness too. I'm a little bit tired of this frontal system. As we head into the weekend, well, that system moves out. We're going to be on the good side. So I'm still going alert for tomorrow because we're under the same risks and the same threats as today. Wednesday, that stuff is really just going to be left over. Northern Basin, and that's going to be it. If the models hold true. We can update you tomorrow just in case anything changes. Thursday, 88, sunny. Oh, of course. Friday, Saturday, oh, why? Well, I'm looking at another frontal system. That's going to be increasing rain chances for Friday and Saturday. You know what? How about I show you guys? Let me scroll on up. Look at the long-term model. So we already went through Tuesday. We already went through Wednesday. Here is Thursday. Thursday morning, 6 a.m., 10 a.m., noon. Beautiful. Maybe some rain near San Antonio. And that's it. Friday morning, not much going on. Friday, middle of the day into the afternoon, trying to throw a couple of showers out near Abilene and Brownwood. This is actually from a cold front. Notice the direction of those winds. They're coming in from the north. That's actually going to be dropping down temperatures a good bit. If temperatures stay low, we don't have to deal with a high risk for severe weather. That's exactly what we want. Into your Saturday. Saturday rain chances popping up in the early part of the morning, and then a little bit more isolated to scattered chances out near Alpine, near Fort Stockton. And then we go into Sunday morning. A lot of this stuff starts to kind of fizzle out. This model's trying to show a little bit more of those rain chances. I was basing my percentages off an earlier run, but of course,